When German Chancellor Angela Merkel and French President Jacques Chirac meet today in Paris, the problems at Airbus will be high on the agenda of their summit. France wants Germany to play an active role in helping solve the crisis, but won't pressure Berlin into taking a stake in parent group EADS. Joining us now is Paul O'Neill, Director of Aviation and Transport Services at Deloitte in London. Paul, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Isn't this the problem, though? It's the politicians trying to solve the corporate woes over at this dual-list structured company. It should be the company themselves, perhaps, digging themselves out of a mess.
That's a nice analysis, but I think EADS' history doesn't allow for that sort of split. Since its foundation in 2000, it has been a business and politic joint venture, and it's not worked badly. There's been a lot of infighting, there's been a lot of squabbling. There's Germans reporting to French and French reporting to Germans, and the politicians always want a view. But I don't think we're going to split that out. We're always going to have the politicians playing the game. Yeah,
absolutely. But there have been very direct accusations from the previous chief executive of Airbus strike that the problem is very much based at the Hamburg facility, and this needs to be taken potentially out of the equation. That's not going to sit well with the politicians.
No. Both the politicians here, both Merkel and Chirac, have got big issues coming up. Merkel's trying to protect the Grand Coalition and also wants to defend German jobs to help that work. The presidential election in France is coming up in the spring, so they also want to protect French jobs. The now ex-CEO Airbus, Christian Streiff, he's talking about 10,000 job cuts. Where do they come? Commercially, maybe they come more in one country than the other. Politically, they have to appear to be evenly distributed. It's not an easy puzzle to solve.
Paul, you don't paint a very positive picture of Airbus going forward if the political considerations on jobs and their agenda there predominates over, of course, the corporate logic.
The next couple of steps have been very smartly taken. So Christian Streiff has just stepped down. Louis Gaulois, who's taken over the Airbus role, he was already one of the joint chief executives of EADS. He's a Frenchman with a long, excellent record of serving the French, but he is also trusted by the Germans. So this man probably has the very best chance of smoothing these troubled waters. He has a ambition to see a single management process, so not a joint French-German management process. He sees that as coming to an end in maybe 3 years, which happens to be the date he retires. It also happens to be the date that Tom Enders, the German CEO, the German joint CEO, his contract expires. And if they can achieve that, then EADS has a better future. He can only achieve that if he can fix the shorter-term issues at Airbus. I think everything hinges on Airbus. And they probably have the right man in charge to fix it.
What about the customers? We understand the likes of Emirates and Virgin considering the positions, looking for some form of discount on their planes because of the delays. Is this plane ever going to make money?
Well, the answer is, of course, yes, it could. There are engineering problems, there are industry problems, but these are not insuperable if you have the right team, the right management structure above it. Whether they can be fixed with the political background or not, frankly, I'm not going to put money on either way. They do have the right management team with the best chance of doing it, but it is certainly a tough job. As regards the customers, around any aircraft purchase, there's a lot of haggling. Around the purchase of a new model, there's even more haggling. So in some ways, this is just business as usual. The very high profile and to some extent the uniqueness of this particular aircraft make the haggling a little bit more heated. But haggling is part of the business as usual, so that doesn't really muddy the water too much. It just strengthens the hand of the individual customers.
Paul, real pleasure to get at your analysis this morning. Thank you very much indeed, sir. Paul O'Neill, Director of Aviation and Transport Services at Deloitte in London. That's it for the first half of the show. Anna and I will be back in the second half to look at the market today with our reporters around Europe. Plus, we'll find out how trade is going in Asia. Just for now, though,